something that's in the works has to do with playing the full, right? We were talking about it a little bit before going live here, and yeah, Dad is
I have to
putting up
again.
his
Have
copy.
to.
Yeah.
For those
So
who don't know, this is absolutely one of my favorite live albums. I have a few favorite live albums. Song Remains the Same, Yes Songs, Keys to Ascension, Queen Live Killers. This is absolutely right there with one of my favorites. I just love this album. And yeah, I know that you saw it, Derek, in the interview with John, but for those who didn't see it, I was introduced to Gentle Giant with this album when I was 14 years old, which would have been, do the math for me, Steve. My math brain is.
yeah, that would have been 77. Yeah, that's funny. Well, I think 14 was also when I got into Gentle Giant back in 2008, 2009.
Raised the boy right. There you go. Yeah, but let's spill some beans on that. What's happening with that and Steve Wilson?
Well, you've got the exclusive on this one because we've just been talking just last week with Stephen and a guy called Dan Bornemark, who has been very helpful. He lives in Sweden in actually finding the old tracks and helping us get the catalog back to our own. We own the catalog, which is so we've listened and we've decided to have Stephen remix the album, but at the same time go through all the shows as opposed to what is on the album. And we've decided to make it a triple album, which again, you've got an exclusive here because we listened to the other tracks and said, why don't we have Stephen remix those? And so it's the whole set as opposed to the ones we chose for that album. So we're working on that for a sort of late summer, August, September, October release for a new Stephen Wilson remix of the album.
That's awesome. I'm curious, Derek, why was it not a triple album back then? Was it restrictions from the label at the time? Was it just something most bands didn't do? Oh, yeah. Of course, it wasn't something most bands didn't do.
I don't know, actually. I think it was, triple albums were, a double album, for a fan to buy was digging your pocket. And
yeah, that's true.
So I think that, I don't think there were two. I don't think anyone. Well, maybe they did, but
the only triples I could think of from back then, Ray, would be 1974 Emerson, Lake and also the longest title on the planet, Emerson, Lake and Palmer's "Welcome Back, My Friends" to the show that never ends, ladies and gentlemen. Blah, 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 but also Yes Songs, and those are the only two that come to mind.
Right, that's true. You're right. I don't know why. I mean, I think we just listened to the tracks that I think out of 4 shows we did in Europe. And we just decided that these are the ones that we're going to, put on this double album. But there's certainly about 5 or 6 other tracks that we played on that set that were recorded just as well.
I can't wait.
And the intro as well. I mean, the intro is I think it's on there, but it's much longer. So all these other bits and pieces are going to be on this new version of.
Yeah, the missing pieces, you might say.
Yeah.
And what formats is it coming out on?
Well, it'll be vinyl, CD, Blu-ray,
awesome.
Across the board. Flat mix, everything else.
That's great. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us. That's really